Hey, it's Daryl at Good Attitude Services, 10-foot truck. I'm just relaxing in my box truck today. It's really nice weather out. This is the first day in quite some time. It's up to, it's in the 70s. It's, t-shirt, shorts day. Because last week it was cold. Wearing a flannel. For June, that's pretty surprising how cold it was and rainy. So I'm just sitting out here in the backyard in the truck, just contemplating what's going on with our inflation and how I'm going to approach that. From here out. I had to I couldn't do as many roadies as I want because they haven't increased the payouts, and a lot of the food delivery that I do. The payouts are still, it's a challenge to get that payout. It requires, the increase in gas cost, tire costs, because it's not just gas costs. You replace your tires are going to be more expensive. Your oil change, oil's more expensive. Everything is more expensive now. And I was watching a video of a trucker who I've been watching. He was very inspirational, so I watched him on YouTube. He's called Toe Piglet. And he started a hot shot trucking, which is taking a big I'm not exactly sure how it works because I'm not a hot shot trucker, but it appears that he was you have those like the F350 or the F450, the big diesel or the big diesel pickup trucks, and you tow flatbeds and you tow freight. And of course, he was even getting into tractor trailers and that. He's doing really well, and unfortunately, the last video I saw, he had to close his business down, from what I was looking at, and I think it has to do with he had insurance costs, and then he also was mentioning the freights, the payouts from the brokers. I guess he works with brokers. I don't know how that works, but I did trucking before, but I never worked with brokers. I worked directly with a company, Mayflower, so I just got a dispatcher, but he was an independent trucker. He has to get loads through brokers, and I guess the payouts are the same. They're not increasing in value and price. Very similar to what I'm experiencing in my food delivery and roadies and stuff. The price is the same, but the gas prices are up to $5.30 here. Of course, in other parts of the country, I think he's in California, I think, where prices are even higher. And then insurance, I guess to insure your vehicle now is going to be more expensive, according to him. Well, he has to insure cargo and all that, so his insurance premiums have gone up really high. So when he looked at the numbers, he's a pretty smart guy. He looked at all the numbers, and it didn't add up to where he was going to make money like he needed. So that's kind of with what's going on with everybody right now. Where I'm looking at every time I go out and do a delivery or do a pickup or junk removal or whatever. It's the price has to be a little bit higher than it was, last year. So I'm starting to get calls on some storage removals or storage cleanouts. I had one guy approach me today and ask about my service, and he needs his storage removed, brought to another storage, or maybe he could bring it to his location. And then I have another person that contacted me about also putting stuff in storage. So maybe this is going to be a big year for storage cleanouts, because if you think about it, if you're trying to cut back to survive, because food costs and gas prices, insurance costs, and everything else costing higher, you're going to start cutting your expenses. And one of the things you can reduce, and I've done it already, is taking the stuff out of storage and sorting it out and getting rid of it, most of it, selling whatever I could, because storage is one of those every month costs like rent. And if you add it up, if your stuff in your storage is not valuable enough throughout, say if you spend $500, or not 500, but say you're spending $80 to $100 a month, by the end of the year you spent $1,200. Are you looking at how much that stuff is valuable? Is it worth it more than $1,200? Because the next year it's going to be that's $2,400 and so forth. So you really want to look at what you have in storage, the value of it, and is it worth storing? So you can scale back, get a smaller storage unit, or just clean it out and get a storage shed. I'm fortunate enough to have a box truck where I can store stuff in here until I can figure out what to do with it. Whether I'm going to sort it out. So I think storage, and I'm going to start approaching storage units real soon here. With the option of helping storage clean outs, because I've done those before. I did quite a few where people just wanted to get rid of their storage because they realized how much it was costing them, and it would be beneficial for them just to, in some cases, just give all the stuff away. I've cleaned out quite a few storage units. They just gave me everything. They paid me to take it out, and they just gave me all the stuff, and then a lot of it was valuable, so I was able to turn around and sell it at garage sales or sort it out and give it to donations. So that could be something that I enjoy doing storage cleanouts because they're convenient. You just pull your truck up, especially if it's one of those roll-up, bottom floor, roll-up doors, and it's fairly easy. One person can do pretty much a storage clean on their own. Depending on the weight of the materials, but so I'm going to focus on that because I'm already getting calls for that. That's already from now. I'm not getting any junk removal calls like I did last year. This year it's like so far at the start of the summer it's storage cleanouts or storage, either moving from one storage to another to get a cheaper deal or removing it from the storage. So I have to get in contact with the local storage people and start letting them know that I have, and give them cards and all that. And so that's going to be an increase because I think people are really going to start to look at all their things that are going out, their expenses, and start to cut back on things that don't make any sense. And that's one of them right there that you can cut back $100, $200. Some people have $300, $400, $500 storage units. That's an expense you can cut out, or if you have an extra car. That you own cash, you own outright. That's not a payment. You can sell that. You don't need it, and there's a lot of things. I think people are there's going to be a lot of movement too. I think a lot of people are going to be scaling back to apartments because they can't afford these high mortgages and the percentages of the interest rates that have gone up. The Federal Reserve, I guess, is increasing the interest rates, so that's going to make it tougher for mortgages. And I think people are going to tend to more be in rental mode, renting apartments. So apartments are great for a business because people move in and out of them. Fairly, there's a lot of movement there when the apartments. Plus, apartments they do sometimes require junk removal, and sometimes people when they move to apartments they buy stuff on Craigslist, and I've done a lot of those where like a couch from Craigslist and I deliver it to the apartment. So that's good thing. There's a lot of new apartments in my area, so I'm going to be looking into approaching apartment managers for that. So storage cleanouts, apartments, managers, those things are good, and stuff like that. I think Craigslist for me is good for people buying used furniture because people are not going to want to buy. They're going to want to reduce the cost of their furnishings and maybe buy stuff used. And during these times, people are going to cut back on buying brand new furniture, I think. So I think the Craigslist furniture market's probably going to, and the offer-up market's probably going to increase as things get really expensive. So that's another one to market is on OfferUp, Craigslist, and I guess Nextdoor. I haven't done that yet, so got a lot of work to do. Hope everyone's doing good out there with these high prices of everything. I know it's unfortunate that I saw that one guy had to close his business. That's not good. It's just that's what's happening now. Until things get straightened out, I don't know when that's going to be, but it looks like gas prices are just going to stay high. They pretty much level off here at about $5.28, $5.30 a gallon. Diesel's much higher, and diesel is another story I've read about where it's the refineries. They don't have enough refineries capacity. There's a lot of regulations, so diesel trucks are gonna, people who are operating diesel vehicles are going to have a hard time. I have a gas truck, which the prices are a little bit lower, so that's something to consider too. Figuring that out. I know diesel trucks are much needed because tractor trailers have to operate on diesel, at least for now. So that's all I'm sitting here contemplating, and maybe later I'll be going out and doing a dinner run on DoorDash, and I have to be very selective on that and for the miles and the increase. I heard somewhere, I don't know if anybody knows this out here, I just saw something briefly about how the IRS is allowing people to on your mileage. I think they're offering a little bit more write off on your car, on your vehicle mileage. So I have to look into that. That's something everybody's got to do if they're delivering and all that. But that's something too to think about. And and in my next video I'm going to do. I just read about these drone deliveries from Amazon they're starting to get into the news. They're going to talk about drone deliveries that will affect anyone who's doing delivery, because that's kind of what they want. They want stuff operating without having to pay labor costs, and so that's something they're going to be looking at, especially with gas prices being up. But the world is changing. The future is coming fast. But have a great day out there. I always have a good attitude. That's why I call myself Good Attitude Services. And my website is 10foottruck.com. The 10-foot truck and a good attitude is here. And I'm going to keep on moving on, not giving up. And it's not going to be easy this summer, but got to think about how grateful we are to have what we have. That's a good, good thing to think about, is to be grateful for the things we do have. All right, signing out. Good Attitude Services, 10-foot truck.